This was the last big place that was close enough to downtown, accessible via the river and by the streetcar system, that allowed for this sort of event. So it became located here, and it brought all sorts of new attention to Uptown. In the years and decades after the fair, we see the completion of the urbanization of all these subdivisions here, and it's a breathtaking urban environment. Tulane came here 10 years after the fair, having outgrown its downtown quarters. The fair brought light to this area, and the coordinators really made an attempt to electrify this. There were demonstrations of electrified streetcars as well. Electrification didn't come to the streetcar network until about 10 years later, 1893. It offered a wonderful shining of light on the city's culture. It offered an opportunity for local artists, and particularly the Woodward brothers of Newcomb pottery fame, to show their work. It inspired the local response to the arts and crafts movement. You have to remember that this era, 1884, 1885, coincides with the turn of the century local color era, when Americans were starting to travel more. There was more disposable income, there was more leisure time. Railroads made tourism more accessible. We see the rise of national park visitation in this era. We see the rise of luxury hotels. If you look straight west in the golf course, you'll see this bizarre looking hunk of stone, and that was from the Alabama exhibit. There's a local legend that that is in fact a meteorite, and people have scratched their heads wondering how this gigantic rock ended up there, and certainly looks like a meteorite, but it's actually from the fair. I believe it was the Japanese exhibit that as you visited it, they would give little water hyacinth plants as kind of a door prize, as a welcoming gift. And so it was a beautiful little plant, a little purple flower, and people would go back and plant them and put them in the bayou. Within a couple of years, it is clogging up Bayou St. John, and a decade or so after that, the U.S. government is spending millions of dollars to try to eradicate it, and to this day, we are trying to get rid of water hyacinth from Louisiana waterways. The gates of a Jewish cemetery on Elysian Fields Avenue are from the fair. The base of the Ceres statue on Esplanade Avenue, I understand, is from the fair. So there are bits and pieces everywhere. But for having once hosted the largest building, reputedly the largest building in the world, it's amazing how that landscape has been utterly erased.